Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Boomy Reactions. My name is Boomy. Thank you for watching. Now guys, we're going to be watching another video of a very, very destructive tornado. So, like I've mentioned a few times, I think the extremes of weather that a lot of viewers from the US, a lot of, the weather that you guys will experience, or most of you, some of you, not all parts of America, I know, but it's a lot more extreme than the UK. As a Brit, I hold my hands up and say I do a fair amount of complaining about the weather. It's a hot topic of conversation amongst us Brits. We love talking about the weather. And I think it's because we don't experience extremes in weather. Apparently we get like up to 13 tornadoes across the country in any given year on average. But we just kind of see them as high winds. They're not anywhere near as destructive on a scale as, the tornadoes, hurricanes that you'll experience, across the US. And I think that's a big contributor to it because we don't know weather extremes. We know mild weather straight down the middle. And it's normally just grey and drizzly. And we complain about the rain. It's raining an awful lot in the UK. We maybe have like 7 days worth of nice weather and sun, which doesn't actually happen in summer. It actually happens like kind of more late spring, and then our summer's a total washout. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's what it is because we don't experience extremes. It's very mild, but yeah, hot topic of conversation. We love complaining about the weather. I hold my hands up. I do it an awful lot. Anyway, so yes, I think tornadoes are very much a source of interest for maybe Brits in particular, but anyone that lives from outside of the US, it's so interesting because most of us just don't experience anything like that. So it's almost hard to believe. And then when you see the utter destruction that they cause, it's catastrophic at times, isn't it, guys? And for that to be accepted as kind of the norm is even more bizarre to us. We'd go to pieces. Do you know, guys, if we get like 3 inches of snow, and even less than that, the whole country comes to a standstill. We look forward to it, and then we'll complain about it within 24 hours. It'll be too cold, or, it'll be disastrous, can't go anywhere, snowed in. And that, we're just not equipped for any form of bad weather or extremes in weather. Anyway, done an awful lot of talking. Let's crack on with this video, guys. So this is, oh my gosh. Oh, this is a tornado. The strongest tornado in history, apparently. Is that true? So this is El Reno. So this video has been requested from one of my wonderful patrons. This is from Dominic. Thank you so much, Dominic. So Dominic, you say, let me get this up. This is a video I highly recommend checking out. The new Tornado TRX video on the 2021 El Reno Piedmont is that oh my gosh, E5, the EF5 in Oklahoma. I don't know if I vaguely remember seeing this on the news a while ago. Obviously, it was in 2011. Just to warn in advance, it is a tough watch. Oh my gosh, but very well done. Okay, yeah, the last tornado video that I watched, oh gosh, it broke me because you could hear a child in the back of the car, and they're injured and they're so upset, and the mum's just being so strong, and gosh, that broke me. Okay, I'll take the warning. Right, okay, so this is this tornado has traveled across Oklahoma. Was it just Oklahoma? Yeah, 5. Let's crack on with the video then, guys. And if you are enjoying these reactions, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, my lovelies. If you're interested, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account. That link is over here. And if you would like to help support my channel any further, I have a Patreon account. And if you fancy checking that out at all, that link is in the description below there. Right, okay. I'm about to be terrified, I know it. Right.
That's coming this way.
So where was this tornado?
That's coming this way.
Did it stretch across a few states?
This is the most powerful tornado in history, heading directly for a family's house.
Oh!
I gotta get down.
Dude, it's right here.
It's nearly killing storm chasers.
We have to back up. Holy cow.
Confusing scientists.
Oh, look at the
and violently killing multiple people.
So yeah, these storm chasers, oh, they're nuts. They're thrill-seeking. It's just crazy. Adrenaline junkies. Okay, so which state in particular are we referring to? I remember hearing reference to El Reno, so I think it's quite the famous tornado, isn't it? They're a source of fascination, partly because if you watch them from a distance, they're actually quite beautiful, aren't they? Their formation, how they appear in the sky, and they look lovely. And it's just something to stand and absolutely gawp at. It leaves you in awe, and it's just this display of how not just destructive, but how strong and powerful nature is. And we're minuscule in comparison, aren't we? And powerless. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
It's that reminder.
Devastation in Joplin, Missouri on an almost unimaginable scale.
Missouri, okay.
Homes obliterated.
Oh my
Cars
gosh.
piled up like toys. Schools, hospitals, and businesses battered.
The date is May 23rd,
Oh
2011,
gosh.
and the town of Joplin, Missouri has just been wiped away by the deadliest tornado in modern history. People
I vaguely
were in
remember seeing
absolute
this on
shock.
TV.
May is peak tornado season, but something like this is just unfathomable. Unfortunately, for areas surrounding Joplin, the next day, May 24th, seemed to be another tornado risk, potentially even more extreme. As the day drew closer, forecasters noticed a shift to the west. Joplin was in the clear, but that didn't mean good news. The storm system looked dangerously strong, and catastrophic tornadoes were in the cards.
Is it the same tornado that's migrating over to the west, or is it a different tornado, like a different, like, I don't know, like weather formation, and it's just happened to be one day after the next?
But one thing was for sure in people's minds. Nothing could be more extreme than Joplin. Storm chasers say on high-end tornado days, you can practically feel the powder keg of energy in the atmosphere. If this is the case, May 24th probably felt apocalyptic, and an outbreak of violent tornadoes was about to occur in the state of Oklahoma. Pretty much whatever thunderstorm formed
Oklahoma,
first
okay.
would be able to take advantage of the untapped ingredients in place and likely produce the biggest tornado of the day. A small team from the University of Oklahoma is setting up a new mobile radar unit west of Oklahoma City. Jana Hauser, Jeff Snyder, and Howard Bluestein are the team of 3 that have been waiting for a day like this. Their radar, the RAX pole, can see inside a tornado with detail no one's ever captured before. And if they can just film a tornado forming, they could unlock secrets that save lives.
Yeah,
but they need
absolutely.
a storm in central Oklahoma, close to the city, to make it work. They can't exactly chase this thing across the state. And right now, the atmosphere has other plans. Earlier than expected, at 1:40 p.m., a blip on radar fires in western Oklahoma and quickly gains dominance. As the
It looks daunting, doesn't it? You can see it building, and you, oh gosh, it's just getting worse and worse. It sounds morbid for this team to be anticipating and waiting for, finally being able to record one of these tornadoes and getting the opportunity. It sounds weird, doesn't it? That, these researchers are excited about something that's just going to wreak so much havoc. But I suppose, like the narrator said, unlocking the secrets, researching them, and then absolutely being able to save lives in the future, because, they're researching, they're learning things about tornadoes that otherwise, people wouldn't necessarily have known before.
storm begins to develop rotation. It inches towards the town of Canton, Oklahoma. Storm chasers realize a monster tornado is preparing to drop at any second and position themselves to record. One storm chaser, Verne Carlson, positions on a road extremely close to the circulation and films as the tornado forms.
Canton, Oklahoma.
Make sure
Gonna do
you're
it.
safe. See what I mean? They look beautiful until you realise how violent they are, and I think what's really sinister about them is, and I've seen a few videos of these, they get to a point when they're almost silent. Is that the eye though? When you're in the middle of it, in the eye, and that's eerie because there's so much noise going on around at the time, and then it just goes silent. Ominous, eerie. It was loud. That must be thunderous. It looks ghostly. Beautiful as they look from a distance, I think the closer you get to them, the deadlier they look. It is like a cloud of death, isn't it?
The monster tornado begins by shredding trees to their bark next to Carlson, moving at highway speeds. To the northeast, a large lake called Canton Lake sits. Along the lake are numerous recreational areas, and the tornado was now beelining directly for one. A worker for the lake records from the service building as the now massive tornado engulfs the park.
Are they drawn to bodies of water? Or is there no rhyme or reason to their path? They must be able to predict it to some degree. That's a nightmare. You know, like the nightmares where you're falling from a height. And you wake up as you actually hit the ground. Everyone's had one of those dreams. This is on a similar kind of scale. This is the stuff of nightmares. Even if you've never experienced, obviously I've never experienced being anywhere near a tornado, but I'd imagine, oh gosh, it's just a nightmare. It looks biblical, doesn't it? I think that's the only way to describe them.
The campground was essentially turned into a wasteland. RVs were demolished, mobile buildings were shredded, even heavy concrete picnic tables were shattered by the winds. While most campers took warnings and left the park, around 20 people hid inside the camp bathhouse, the only structure left standing. The tornado was massive and exceptionally violent, and it was just getting started. Past the campground, the tornado would become a waterspout as it crossed Canton Lake. An amateur storm chaser, Robert Hetchen, would begin to cross the bridge along the lake at the same time. He would film as the tornado essentially heads directly for them.
So what's the consequence of a tornado traveling across a body of water? What does it do? Oh no!
Okay, just go. Make sure it's recording. It's recording.
Get out of there! I'm not even there. Watching this video is giving me chills. Everything about a sight like that in our human brains just tells us, get gone, get gone.
We're okay.
The tornado would curve to the north, narrowly missing Robert and his girlfriend, who swiftly broke up with him. Okay, just kidding. Apparently she didn't. Anyways, as the tornado would approach with him.
What did that
Okay,
say?
just kidding.
She has been great all year, including some other incredibly close intercepts. I have to admit, with the high risk yesterday, I was nervous that this tornado was going to continue to grow. It was definitely worth shedding a tear over. Oh, well, they weren't your tears. They were your girlfriend's. Oh, you can hear the panic in her voice, can't you? Well, it's good to hear that she didn't break up with him, but I imagine a argument followed quite quickly after that.
Kidding, apparently she didn't. Anyways, as the tornado would approach the edge of the lake, enough water would be siphoned into the funnel to quite literally produce a small tsunami. Photos would show the tidal wave approaching the shore. The tornado would clear the lake around 2:30 p.m., maintaining waterspout status for nearly 3 miles. The tornado was now at its peak width, a ridiculously violent wedge tornado. To the north of the tornado, 57-year-old Ron Martin was driving west from his home when he saw it. In a hurry, Ron would turn into his family farm, believing it was out of the way of the path. Technically, he should have been correct. The storm and tornado, while curving slightly, were heading northeast, away from the farm. But at that moment, the tornado would begin to curve north. Ron was now in the direct path, with no idea. As the violent tornado ripped through the landscape, carving through everything it touched, the violent core would directly impact Ron, sitting in his driveway, throwing his car like a toy, and instantly killing him. Ron was described as a very hard worker and a beloved member of the community. Suddenly, the tornado would begin to weaken after impacting the Martin farm. And
Oh my gosh, poor Ron. Oh, there's just they're deadly, aren't they? Destructive. Oh my gosh. So I was going to ask. I thought it was a bit of a silly question. But I was thinking, what does that do to the water in the lake as the tornado is going over it? Does it create like tidal waves or big waves? Not like a miniature tsunami. I thought that was like a silly thing to ask, so I just kept my mouth shut. But it does, because when we say a lake in the UK, we're talking about a little body of water. But your lakes are, by comparison, much, much, much bigger.
then, without warning, the tornado dies. A wedge tornado that just produced a tsunami, destroyed a campground, and killed a man in his driveway is just gone. That doesn't happen. A tornado this violent, with this much energy available, doesn't just quit out of nowhere. But at that exact moment, 120 miles to the southeast, a new storm begins to spin near the town of El Reno. Not minutes later, not shortly after, the same moment, as if the atmosphere decided Canton Lake was no longer the priority. Something bigger was forming, and the few storm chasers that didn't get baited by Canton Lake were positioning to film it.
So, help me out a bit here, guys. For those of you who know, was this the same storm? Or because it's tornado season, is it just really, really unfortunate that they just happened clustered so close together? So this is a separate tornado? Because that one that we were just watching, that it vanishes. That doesn't just happen. Why did that happen? I have so many questions. Let me know if you know, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's building. They do. They look like ghosts, don't they? Really eerie.
Yeah, it's tearing up houses. Go! Oh, wow. It's about to get fast.
Within seconds, the tornado would become a massive, mile-wide monster, chewing anything in its path. For some reason, the atmosphere near central Oklahoma was suddenly loaded for violence. Unfortunately, this tornado was slightly too far for the radar team to scan. They had missed their shot yet again. Another group, however, including storm chaser David Dimko, would be positioned ahead of the tornado and would film the wall of wind.
Oh my gosh, just a wall.
Okay, you're gonna need to start moving. Move south right now.
It's that big.
With the tornado rapidly approaching, they make the call to escape south. this would be a huge mistake. From their angle along a curve in the road, the curve continues, giving them ample opportunity to retreat. What they don't know is the curve doesn't continue, putting them in the direct path of the wedge tornado. Without this knowledge, they begin to drive due south.
Just fly, man. Fly. Damn.
It's so big. It's not, when the closer you get to it here, it stops actually being recognizable as that kind of wind funnel formation. It does just look like a wall of grey, doesn't it? A mile long. Or wide, I should say. A mile wide.
You're good. You're good. Just keep flying. Keep flying. Hey, just keep flying, dude.
Doing the best I can.
Keep flying. Keep flying, dude. You're fine. You're fine.
You're going straight into it. Oh my gosh.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You're good. You're good. Wow.
David and the group essentially escaped death by seconds. Just after crossing the road behind Demco, the tornado would suddenly dissipate, while causing extreme damage, digging up the earth, debarking trees, and even mangling cars. It struggled to last, just like Canton Lake. Two violent tornadoes have now fired and died in completely different parts of the state.
Yeah.
Storm chasers have been baited across western Oklahoma all afternoon chasing them. And now, as a new rotation forms on the storm right next to El Reno, almost nobody is in position to see what's happening, except one team sitting on a hill with a radar unit scanning into the clouds.
This sounds like a particularly freak storm. How would you have
The
such
new area of rotation
violent
is visible to the
tornadoes
radar
just
team,
dissipate?
and it's massive. The radar scans show the tornado that just lifted has merged with this new circulation, making it even larger.
Oh my gosh.
So we're gonna get cuts of this. Look at the horizontal vortices feeding on the left. Wow, that's less than a mile south of us. High resolution data. 185, sample 15, scanning. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Power flash.
The light. Oh, lightning.
Power flashes.
It looks. It's like straight out of a horror film.
We're recording. Yes. The antenna's turning.
In just 60 seconds, the new rotation has grown to a nearly invisible wall of death. As the team continues to scan, winds continue to increase.
A bigger wall.
The tornado is now completely invisible, wrapped in rain. Only the radar can see what's happening. And at exactly 4 o'clock p.m., Raxpol would record one of the strongest wind speed measurements ever observed at 295.5 miles per hour.
That's double what I would even think is shockingly, destructively, oh my gosh, just high winds. Like, here in the UK, we know we're in trouble when the winds start picking up and they get to like kind of 60 mile an hour winds plus, you know, your greenhouse is going to be annihilated. you know there's going to be destruction. There's going to be fence panels everywhere. The kids' trampoline is going to be taken off into someone else's garden. But nearly 300 miles an hour is absolutely beyond comprehension for me. I don't even know what winds of that speed look like. I can only shudder and imagine what destruction they do, though.
At the exact moment the tornado would peak in intensity, it would suddenly make a 90-degree turn to the east, heading directly for populated areas near the town of Reno. As it crawls over the roads, nothing is directly hit by the tornado, but homes not even in the direct core are reduced to piles of rubble. Cars are turned into bits of unrecognizable steel. The entire terrain looks like another planet. Continuing east, the vortex would impact an oil and gas site. As the tornado strikes the facility, the extreme winds begin to shred apart several oil silos. Storm chasers record as an oil tanker ignites.
Oh my gosh!
The wedge tornado
This is like a
would
horror
slowly wobble forward, inching
else for
closer and closer to Interstate 40. Being completely invisible, drivers on the interstate would have no clue the monster was heading directly for them. Don and Joan Krug are driving home from their grandchild's graduation when they get a tornado warning on their phone. With the invisible nature making it so they had no clue where it was, they continued to drive forward. As the core passes over their pickup, the couple is sucked out through the pickup's windows before being thrown hundreds of yards from the road. State troopers discover their bodies stripped of their clothing and unrecognizable. The pickup was reduced to nothing but a frame. Across the road, Terry Peoples is also caught in his truck as the core of the tornado slams into him. His pickup is also thrown hundreds of yards to the north into a grove of trees. It's subsequently crushed under another destroyed pickup. His body is ejected from the vehicle and is found some distance away, suspended in a tree. In the same grove of trees, a few hundred feet to the south, an oil tanker from the explosion site crashes nearby. It was thrown over a mile. The killer tornado continues to crawl northeast. Another couple, 22-year-old Austin Hall and his girlfriend Miranda, are driving with their friend Stephanie. They realize something is wrong. Likely feeling the pressure drop from the approaching tornado, Austin takes exit 7 to the north. He works for an oil company called Cactus Drilling and thinks if he can just get to the nearby cactus worksite, he can find a place to shelter. Nearby, a car on the side of the road has a dash cam rolling, recording as the edge of the tornado passes to the north. In the video, headlights are seen quickly passing by, driving to the north. If these headlights are actually them, this would be the last time Austin, Miranda, and Stephanie are seen alive. Turning to the east, Austin begins to speed up. He's running out of time. With little visibility, the three of them pull in somewhere near the Cactus Drilling site, which is now being engulfed by the core winds. Next to the site, a farmstead is the first to go, being completely leveled. On the property, a steel storm shelter door would be ripped off, exposing a family to the winds. They would somehow survive inside. The large complex of metal buildings and workhouses of the Cactus worksite would stand zero chance against the winds. Some of the worst damage ever recorded by a tornado would occur here, as scrap metal shreds everything to a pulp like a blender. Pieces of metal are traveling so fast that they spark as they drag along the ground, igniting a fire that engulfs the debris. It is likely now that the tornado begins to reach its peak intensity, harboring what could be some of the strongest winds to ever touch the earth.
Oh, I don't think I can carry on. It's getting just worse and worse. This is apocalyptic. There's no other word for it. This is like doomsday scenario. I can't believe how many people have died in this huge violent tornado.
To the northeast of most of the warehouses, a brand new oil rig named Cactus 117 sits. On the site of the rig are 13 Cactus workers. Fortunately, a giant metal safe room secured to the ground by 4 steel cables was installed on the site. Each steel cable is drilled nearly 6 feet into the ground, providing thousands of pounds of force to keep the safe room from going airborne. As the tornado bears down, 10 of the workers run inside.
Yeah,
As
okay.
debris begins to slam the side of the room, they realize amongst the chaos, the banging is not just debris. Someone is pounding on the door. Suddenly realizing this, the door is unlocked, and 2 workers are able to scramble in. Seconds before the worst winds impact,
That is
only one
so
person
lucky.
is not accounted for, a man named Grady. Inside the shelter, the roar is deafening. The roof and walls begin to cave in, and one of the 10,000-pound anchoring cables snaps as the room is slammed. Just to the east of the safe room, the oil rig is also being directly hit. In one of the most absurd feats of damage ever recorded, the 1.9 million pound oil rig, which is anchored into the ground with 200,000 pounds of force, keels over and collapses onto the ground.
Just to
After
show
what
you
seems like an
how strong
eternity,
this is.
the tornado passes the rig site. The 12 people inside the safe room survive. The dozen workers set out to find Grady, who they assume is likely dead. Instead of finding Grady, however, in a field east of the rig, they find 2 people they don't recognize. Both are critically injured, but one of them, a man, is able to tell them that his name is Austin Hall. Austin would be thrown 200 yards from the road, along with his friend and girlfriend that were in the truck.
Where's the other
Unfortunately,
one?
Austin would pass before EMS would arrive. Stephanie, the unconscious body next to Austin, would survive. The friend, Miranda Bishard, would not survive. Her body would be found mangled and unrecognizable days later. Grady would be found alive hours later, sheltered inside a cargo container that had been flipped and buried in debris. He
Can you imagine having to live with the trauma? You must get flashbacks and just PTSD from it. Oh my, it's horrible. My thoughts and prayers go out to the family. I know this happened in 2011, but it's horrible. It's horrible.
made the split-second decision not to run for the safe room, and it saved his life. The Cactus worksite looks like frames out of a movie. Massive steel structures are reduced to essentially bits. There are multiple images where you can't really discern anything. It's possible
shocking.
this is evidence the strongest tornado in history just impacted the area, and it had no plans of stopping yet. While the tornado was over the site, it had changed. The massive wedge had tightened, shrinking in width, but not shrinking in power. It's as if the atmosphere took all that energy and focused it into a drill. Wrapped in rain, nearly invisible, it grinds east across open terrain. From the north, one brief glimpse emerges of the tornado near its peak. It almost looks like something out of a horror movie. By now,
all of this looks and sounds like something from a horror movie, doesn't it? So when, like they said, the width of the funnel of the tornado, the width of it, it narrows in. Does that, maybe concentrate isn't the right word, but maybe does that make it even more deadly because you've got a smaller, like compact area where all the winds are concentrated? So I don't know, does it make it worse, or I'm not sure. You look at the path of the tornado, it doesn't make sense. What is it? Random? Is it absolutely just random? It's got a mind of its own and it just seems to veer in certain directions or curves or just randomly just turns at 90-degree angles. There's got to be some kind of reason behind how it, how it migrates and how it changes direction. No?
almost no storm chasers could keep up. Blinding rain and traffic have cut off nearly everyone, but 3 college students, Shane Young, his brother, and a friend, have managed to stay ahead on Highway 81. As the tightened tornado moves east, it emerges from the rain and lunges directly for their car. The college students are about to record the footage of their lives.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We have to back up. We have to back up. We can't. Back up.
Right here. Look at the west tornado. I'm gonna turn the camera around. It's gonna be right in the center.
Here, Eddie. Videotape.
It's crossing 81.
Just turn around. Turn around.
Right here, as long as I can.
turn around.
Back up. We're okay.
Look at the stream, Mike. Look at the stream. Take the stream. Unbelievable. It's going to be another. It's a stovepipe. Stovepipe tornado. Southwest of me. I'm at Hefner Road.
Oh my God.
I'm at Hefner Road, 1 mile east. 1 mile east of.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sitting there praying that it doesn't come your way. Oh god.
Okay, go further back.
Yeah.
Dylan, you gotta tell me.
Dylan. Dude, we would have gotten hit there.
I know. That truck's still.
Crossing 81 right now. Go ahead. All right, Mike, you get across the field. It's coming right at me in the stream. It's coming right at me. I'm pouring. Look at the power flashes. It's going to be an EF3. EF3.
Power flashes. The lightning.
It's coming at me. Mike, it's going to be.
Along the highway, more structures would be erased. One home would be given the name Trenched Home due to it being reduced to essentially a muddy trench in the ground. After crossing Highway 81, the tornado begins to look wrong on radar. The signature wobbles, the path is narrowing. Similar to every other tornado today, it seemed like it was ready to die. This is what storm chaser Kerry Bahora and his friend Eric are thinking as they drive through the town of Piedmont. During this time, trees and homes obstruct their view. They believe they are missing out on the very end of the tornado. As they break out onto an open road, they are shocked at what they see.
People, if they are on the Northwest Expressway,
Oh man, this doesn't go through, does it? We're in a residential.
They need to get off X miles northwest of you guys.
Go up here and
put a good shot on it, and you can tell me what you can see there and see the storm. Now we see precipitation filling in the south. Sometimes that will kill the storm. Wet.
Tornadoes with low gain over northern El Reno, moving east at 30 miles an hour. Locations for warning include Arcadia.
The tornado is not dying. It's 1.5 miles wide, ground scraping, and it's heading directly for the suburbs of Piedmont.
It's got
For
bigger.
a few miles, the tornado threads between subdivisions, barely missing clusters of homes. But the path is trending northeast, and the neighborhoods ahead are running out of time. Father John Allison steps out his front door and sees a black wall heading for his family.
It looks like a demon approaching, doesn't it?
Come on, Nose. Come on. Come on, stretch. Come on. Come on. Stretch. Come on. Leave him in here. Leave him in here. Leave him in here.
As John hides with his family, the tornado would carve through Northridge Lane, a subdivision just in front of him. 19 homes lined the street, and every single one of them was destroyed. Cars from the neighborhood were thrown hundreds of yards into fields and shredded beyond recognition. The debris was so finely grounded that surveyors couldn't identify what most of it used to be. Every single home on Northridge had an underground storm shelter though, and every single person survived. The center of the tornado would continue, just narrowly missing the Allison home, causing damage but sparing them from death. Not everyone would share the same fate as the Allisons. A neighborhood along Falcon Drive sat in the direct path of the tornado, and at the end of the road sat the home of the Hamels. Inside the home was mother Catherine, daughter Kathleen, and 1- and 3-year-old Ryan and Cole. Catherine was a cautious mother and kept up to date with all tornado warnings in the area that day. As the tornado approached and a warning was issued for her area, she took herself and her children into the center bathroom and put a mattress over their heads. Catherine would say, "I heard a loud noise. It went dark." The home is sliced directly by the violent core. All 3 children are ripped from her arms in an instant, and the bathtub they were sheltered in was literally ripped from the floor and thrown. Nothing remained of their home or much of the neighborhood. 1-year-old Cole and 3-year-old Ryan would die. Catherine and her daughter would survive with extreme injuries. Not far from the Hamel home, 58-year-old Sharon Dodd was in her storm cellar. The tornado was bearing down, but she was underground and protected. But somewhere above her, she realized her dogs were not with her. Sharon made the decision to leave the cellar and go find them. She never made it back underground. A few hundred yards away, Cody Leeper, son of Billy and Pamela Leeper, is speeding towards the neighborhood in his truck. Cody knew they wouldn't leave their mobile home on their own. as he pulls into the driveway just in time to see Billy outside. He watches as his father tries to lift Pamela into their pickup. Pamela had a back disorder and couldn't move easily. Billy was not going to leave without her. Before Cody could even get out of his vehicle, the mobile home exploded around them. The last thing he saw was his father throwing his body over Pamela to shield her from what was coming. Cody's father, Billy Lieber, would die. It's moments like these that make you realize a tornado is more than just some epic scientific phenomena. With Joplin killing 160 people literally 2 days prior, and now one of the strongest tornadoes of all time actively killing families who did essentially everything right. I just want to take a moment to mention that these are real people with real lives like you and me. These aren't numbers or cool talking points for a YouTube video. They're humans. Just something I felt like making clear. By this point, the tornado began to appear unstable on radar. The path began to wobble, and while continuing to cause damage, nothing nearly as violent would occur past the neighborhood. It seems as if the tornado was gradually running out of power, and at 5:32 p.m., the tornado would lift. May 24th, 2011 would produce one of the most violent tornado outbreaks Oklahoma has ever seen. Besides Canton Lake, El Reno 1 and El Reno 2, 12 other EF2 plus tornadoes would occur, claiming 18 lives. 2 days earlier, the people of Oklahoma watched Joplin get destroyed, believing nothing could ever be worse. And maybe by the human numbers, nothing was. But for Catherine Hamill sheltering her children exactly the way she was supposed to, for Billy Leeper shielding his wife in their driveway, for Austin Hall driving towards safety that didn't exist, the numbers don't really matter. It was the worst day of their lives. Oklahoma will continue to recover like clockwork after any tornado, but people will continue to remember the lives and communities impacted that day. Thank you for watching.
I think it's so important, like the chap here, the narrator, highlighted. It's so important to remember that these disasters happen, and as much of, you know, a display of the grandeur of nature as they are, as destructive as much of a source of interest as they are to, especially other people from outside of the US who don't experience these kind of extremes. It's so important to remember that these fatalities, these deaths, they're people, they're families, and I hope that they'll be remembered. My thoughts and prayers go out to their family, and you just, it's so difficult to comprehend that this extreme weather, these freak things actually happen. But I thought that disclaimer that he said at the end there, you know, that mentioning that these are, they're not statistics, they're not numbers, they are absolutely people that went through the trauma of this and lost children. Oh my gosh. And it's, oh gosh, it's cruel. My heart absolutely bleeds. It's awful. It's horrible. So, you know, as much as a spectacle as it might be, you know, a source of fascination, it's real trauma, isn't it? It's an absolute catastrophe. This is the stuff of nightmares. It really, really is. Oh gosh. Oh, it's almost unbelievable. It sounds like something from a horror film. I am gobsmacked and unnerved and quite obviously upset to hear of the people that lost their lives here. And oh gosh, but yes, absolutely disastrous. And was this like 3 tornadoes in one, or was it considered the same storm? I know I asked that earlier. I know it said that the first 2 dissipated quite quickly, but did the narrator say that the second one in particular kind of looked like it kind of merged into the final tornado? Is that what happens to them? Because I didn't think they would dissipate so quickly, because they're so violent in nature, these tornadoes. I'm sorry, guys. I'm genuinely very saddened about all of the, especially the children, the people that lost their lives here. Guys, it's absolutely awful. And the rebuilding from all of the destruction that's happened, people must have lost their homes and so much money and cars, but mainly, you know, most importantly, lives were lost and injuries caused, and it's so awful. Would you have said maybe that the second tornado here was the more dangerous of the three because of that veil of rain that kind of kept it invisible until quite last minute? So it wasn't really visible, you know, for an awful lot of people that got caught up in it. I know I do have a great deal, many questions every video I watch, but it is a source of interest, like I said, because we just don't experience weather like this, but it just makes it more horrific and almost unbelievable for us to hear of it. Never mind seeing all the damage, and honestly, oh, it's just chaos. It's a nightmare. Guys, thank you for watching along with me. I hope you found that as interesting as I did. And I'm very, very sad. But do take care of yourselves, my lovelies, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.